face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers. Limit sharing of eating utensils. Practice social distancing and avoid physical contact. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at Scientology.org/stay well.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Ocala's Appleton Museum of Art has reopened to all visitors. See the world-class permanent collection and special exhibits, including photographs by Bruce Mozart and mixed media by Christina Deanne. Hours are Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays, noon to 5 p.m. The museum is closed Mondays through Wednesdays. Masks are required, and visitor occupancy is being monitored. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow. And like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat. I would flip-flop all night long. I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed. It's about how much of that quality sleep we get. And I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Right now, MyPillow has a special offer for you. 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. Each pillow is made in the USA and is machine washable and dryable. Call 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Annie to get 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. That's 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com, promo code Annie.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Promo code Annie.
Is the internet driving business to your business? Hi, I'm Michael Warren with Brick City Interactive. At Brick City, we've been putting the web to work for businesses since 1998. We want to help you too, whether you're a real estate office, law office, medical office, manufacturer, retailer, a church, even a radio station like WOCA. We love to help businesses grow, and we have the knowledge and experience to make it happen. We offer professional, affordable web design, mobile responsive websites, search engine optimization, social media marketing, web video and promotions, online advertising, and more. Whether it's time for a redesign or whether you want to kickstart your existing website, let us help. Mention WOCA and we'll give you a free, no-obligation search engine optimization report for your website. This free report will give you practical steps to increase your search ranking. It's our gift to you from Brick City Interactive. Call us today at 352-351-1131 or visit us online at brickcity.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom. 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL alumni.
WOCA. WOCA. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gotta keep it strong, move along like I know you do. And even when your hope is gone, move along just to make it through. When all you gotta keep is strong, move along like I know you do. And even when your hope is gone, move along just to make it through.
Yeah, good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Moving right along with this work week as we're looking at a little bit more of a wet morning just from what's left over from yesterday as, boy, we talked about just only a 20% chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm yesterday. And boy, we got it. At least Marion County did. I know it rained for a good amount, and we had quite a little bit of thunderstorm and lightning there for a little while. And as it rained through the evening, let everything a little damp this morning, a little damp. As we're currently 74 degrees, 97% humidity out there right now, and 40% chance of showers as they say, a slight chance of showers and a thunderstorm between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So a little early today, as now to be expected. Like we mentioned, 40% chance, and then the possibility of thunderstorms after afternoon at 1 p.m., as that could carry on into the evening with a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. I thought it was going to be a little bit later in the week, but boy, whatever that 20% was, it brought it yesterday. So a lot of rain as we can continue to have that for the remainder of the week, even up until Friday, as we continue to have more of this moist Atlantic air coming off from the east winds there, as it's bringing us a little moisture, and with that is a little bit more rain. We were dry last week, so it feels like, okay, we could use a little bit of rain and everything that go along with it, rather this rain than a giant tropical storm to be dumping too much of it. But nonetheless, it's still nice and cool this morning for the moment, as we can see a high near 86 degrees today, and then for tonight's low 72, and then back to the mid-80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there you go. As we welcome you to the show here this Tuesday, we say good morning, 7:44, coming up on 15 minutes before the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We got a good show for you lined up. I know you guys love Tuesdays. As we do, we're going to get the conversation started here with some Ocala Quick Minute News, and then get to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, where we'll be discussing a little bit more sports. We'll be talking a little baseball some more, as things will be underway for Game 1 of the World Series with the Tampa Bay Rays and Los Angeles Dodgers. But we'll be talking that with Galen, and finishing up a little bit of the NFL from the weekend, as the two games that were last night with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Which was a wet one up there in Buffalo, in upstate New York. As we look also at the, caught a little bit of it, but the Arizona Cardinals and the rough-going Dallas Cowboys. So we'll finish that up with a conversation with Galen, as well as finding out where we can go to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood. As we know that what we have him on here for is he's the Director of Retention and Recruitment at Life South Community Blood Centers. We're proud to talk to him and find out what we can do to spread the word to the community about what they can do to help out to give the gift of life and donate blood. That segment brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, as well as Penn Flooring. And that'll get us to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, where then from there we're going to be talking with some interesting little topic here with Dr. Jocelyn Kirby, Associate Professor in the Department of Dermatology and the Director of Dermatology Residence Program, Pennsylvania State University. And we'll be discussing some things there that are pretty interesting. And we love to keep you a little bit informed, a little entertained, and sometimes the information is entertaining. So there you go. Before we round out the 9 o'clock hour, we'll have another little interview, this time with Dr. David Eachbaum, board-certified ophthalmologist, trained in disease and surgery and the vitreous and retina for the idea of the eyes. And we'll be discussing just how even something like diabetes has an impact on vision. And then as that goes through and through to get you to the top of the 9 o'clock hour, that's right, in the garden with Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener, as we bring you our gardening show from 9 o'clock, which will round out our hour to the 10 o'clock hour. As we say, stay tuned for that. As we're going to be discussing a little bit of everything now that we're in October, and have some fun talking about what comes up for the fall with the idea of use of pumpkins and all the good stuff that we can hopefully already started growing or can get growing as we continue into the rest of the year. So stay tuned for In the Garden with Carol Ann Baldwin, as we'll have here in the studio here at 9 o'clock. And then, of course, at 10 o'clock, we'll have Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive, Auto Repair and Personal Care. Matt Gibbs, as we'll be discussing some automotive stuff. If you have any questions between those two shows, you know to give us a call, 622-9622, for any questions that you have with the gardening for Carol Ann, or anything that you have automotive for Matt Gibbs with Sunrise Automotive. As that'll bring us to the bottom of the 10 o'clock hour with Matt Gibbs, where we'll be rolling with another interview. This one's a little interesting here, as Gene Marks, the noted columnist and author, as he and his expert on a small business and the decisions that will be on Amazon's $100 million commitment to small business, given how COVID-19 has toppled certain small businesses through everything that we did to try to flatten the curve and everything else, and now starting to see some of the Well, the consequences to those actions now later, and a lot of those consequences are the closings of a lot of small business. But with that, Amazon trying to step up for a commitment to support small business, and we'll be discussing those topics and more with Gene Marks as we get to towards the top of the 11 o'clock hour. But before we do, we'll be having one more interview with Dr. Whitney Casares as the Gerber's pediatric medical consultant to discuss the tips how to nourish your baby's developing systems, and just another cool topic to keep you informed as well as a little entertained. And that'll round out our show for you here today for this Tuesday as we keep on moving along. As it is now 7:49, as we're saying good morning to you, as we mentioned, 74 degrees out there. It is now time, with 7:49, it is time now for your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. As it was mentioned yesterday and now today, early voting is underway in 52 of Florida's 67 counties. The early voting period runs until Sunday, November 1st, but dates and hours vary based on the county, as long lines were reported at some polling places. Meanwhile, more than 2.5 million Floridians have already voted by mail. Early voting has Democratic vice presidential nominee Kamala Harris campaigning in Florida, as she made her stop at a drive-up rally in Orlando.
I had to come here on the kickoff of early voting in Florida because y'all are going to make it happen.
Harris ripped the Trump administration in response on the ongoing pandemic in the United States, calling it an unprecedented failure. Florida is passing what they consider to be another grim coronavirus milestone. The state recorded 54 fatalities yesterday, taking the death toll over 16,000. There are more than 1,700 new cases. Forecasters in Miami's area are keeping close tabs on the 26th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. Tropical storm Epsilon formed in the middle of the Atlantic yesterday and is nearly stationary with 45-mile-per-hour winds. Now, the National Hurricane Center says the storm should be at or near hurricane strength on Thursday, as then it will approach Bermuda and not be a big impact for the remaining United States. The World Series gets underway tonight, if you can believe that, from where we were at with the baseball season, halfway through the year getting started with an idea of an abbreviated season. But we've made it to the end where the Tampa Bay Rays take on the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 1 of the best-of-7 series at the Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, as Rays starter Tyler Glasnow says he's looking forward to pitching opposite Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw.
It's unbelievable. It was someone who grew up watching him pitch. Obviously, too, just being the Dodgers, kind of where I'm from, it's a special moment for me for sure.
As the Rays are looking for their first ever World Series win, while the Dodgers last won it all in 1998. The AAA says that the average price of a gallon of gas in Florida is now down to $2.12, down 4 cents since last week and 36 cents a gallon since the same time a year ago. The Auto Club predicts that they should continue to decline to closer to $2 a gallon here in the future. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. We're going to take a short little break, and we'll come back with more AM Ocala Live. I'm your host, Adam Mickulin. Good morning.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Partly sunny with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 83 to 86. Then partly cloudy tonight with a heavy shower and a low 73 to 75. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine Wednesday with a thunderstorm in one or two spots in the afternoon. High tomorrow 80 to 84. Then mostly cloudy Thursday with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Welcome back to the show, AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. I'm your host, Adam Mekulin, as we say good morning on this Tuesday. Still a little bit of cool this morning, 74 degrees, a little damp. All the rain we got yesterday and all that good stuff. Got some good news on the forefront of what we see with some of the travel idea and industry is the idea that more people are flying as TSA screens 1 million daily passengers for the first time since the pandemic. It says more people flew in the United States over the weekend of October 16th through the 18th, more than at any point during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Transportation Security Administration said this on Monday as the TSA crossed a long-awaited threshold on Sunday, screening 1 million passengers at airport checkpoints for the first time since March 17th. Coming from spokesperson Lisa Farbstein, who said it in a release. That wasn't the only record. TSA also screened 6.1 million passengers at the checkpoint nationwide during the week of Monday, October 12th through Sunday, October 18th. It's the highest weekly number since the start of the pandemic, saying, quote, although passengers' volumes remain well below the pre-pandemic levels, the 1 million single-day passenger volume is a noteworthy development that follows significant TSA checkpoint modifications in response to the COVID-19 outbreaks. As she said, referencing precautions such as the plexiglass barriers, having passengers screen their own travel documents. They say, however, those numbers could prove to be a little short-lived, as they say, in the current COVID-19 trends continue as the White House and Congress Congress failed to reach a deal on the new stimulus package to keep their airlines afloat. They said on Friday that there were nearly 70,000 new cases reported across the country, numbers like this of which hasn't been seen since mid-July. It says 1 week earlier, 9 states with Alaska, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Minnesota, Montana, North Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming, which are the states, some of them, which is like when I look at Wyoming and Montana and North Dakota, the least populated of most states, so we know why their electoral numbers are so low, as they reported record number cases, which is fine, good, whatever. It's kind of goofy when you look at it either way. But meanwhile, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Sunday that the White House has 48 hours to reach the deal in the COVID-19 relief before the November 3rd election. And with that, and the idea is the TSA screening figures have climbed slowly but steadily since hitting their lowest point in April, when they say several days were under the 100,000 mark. At that point, many states had instituted the coronavirus lockdowns. Air traffic from Europe, the UK, and Ireland had ceased due to the travel bans in the United States several weeks as it had came through. But like we said, some good news for the idea of seeing some things return to a little bit of normal, as they screened more than 1 million daily passengers for the first time since the pandemic. WOCA Ocala, The Source. We'll be back after this national news. Back after this.
Pelosi has said today's the deadline to get a deal done on coronavirus financial relief before Election Day.
She spoke yesterday with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin for nearly an hour, a spokesman says. The two sides did narrow their differences. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will force a vote today on renewing the Paycheck Protection Program. Tomorrow, the Senate will take a procedural vote on a $500 billion measure, similar to a proposal blocked last month by Democrats as insufficient.
Fox's Jared Halpern. President Trump critical of Dr. Anthony Fauci on his coronavirus task force during a call with campaign staff calling him a disaster. Later telling reporters in Arizona, Dr. Fauci's a nice man.
We let him do what he wants to do. He gets a lot of television. He loves being on television. We let him do it. Sometimes he says things that are a little bit off and they get built up, unfortunately, but he's a nice guy. I like him, but he's called a lot of bad calls.
America's listening to Fox News.
Wouldn't it be great if everything came with more? Like if your new computer came with unlimited tech support. When you choose a Medicare plan from United Healthcare, you get more. Like plans that have dental and vision coverage, plus hearing coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-364-1360 to get Medicare with more. Remember, Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th.
Benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. More plans based on a year-over-year comparison of United Healthcare plans.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contact us to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
Watching. From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News from the Southeast Ag Network, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, in partnership with the Fish and Wildlife Foundation, announced they have purchased a 578-acre parcel in Gulf County within the St. Joe Timberland Florida Forever project. The agency said the acquisition of the property, which is within the Apalachicola River and Apalachicola Bay watershed, will expand on the state's recent 20,168-acre addition to what is known as the Lake Wimico Tract. According to DEP Secretary Noah Valenstein, the deal protects drinking water supplies and connects wildlife habitat. He said this land is one of the most undeveloped, diverse, productive, and economically important natural systems in the southeastern part of the U.S. Governor Ron DeSantis and the Florida Cabinet, which of course includes Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried, Attorney General Ashley Moody, and Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Petronas, agreed back in late May to pay $720,000 for that property. property. The land will be managed by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Fish and Wildlife Foundation of Florida President and CEO Andrew Walker said, "We are thrilled to partner with DEP to add the Apalachicola River wildlife and environmental area, ensuring future generations can experience its natural beauty." He said the public is also a part of this effort by purchasing the Wildlife Foundation of Florida license plate. Learn more about this on our website, southeastagnet.com.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Partly sunny with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 83 to 86. Then partly cloudy tonight with a heavy shower and a low 73 to 75. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine Wednesday with a thunderstorm in one or two spots in the afternoon. High tomorrow 80 to 84. Then mostly cloudy Thursday with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Back to the show. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source, as we're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we're working on 6 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hour, it is now time for Life South Community Blood Centers with our good friend Galen. Good morning, Galen. Happy Tuesday, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How are you today?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. I wanted to dive into something with you here right from the get-go, and I wanted your opinion as we discuss a little bit more of how national news is now pretty much we're plugging away of saying that there's a small resurgence in COVID-19. And I just read an article that was somewhat promising in the idea of how air travel, at least domestic air travel, obviously with everything else international, that's a side note, but air travel is up as they actually hit a record as TSA had screened over 1 million daily passengers this past weekend. First time that they've exceeded this million mark since the pandemic. And it feels like whenever we get a little bit of good news, then all of a sudden there's a topple of this running total again. So in the article, it brings up this idea that it's not really an idea, but it's what's out there as far as Friday, saying that there's nearly 70,000 new cases reported across the country. And I wanted your opinion on how you feel about these numbers and where we're at now, having known what has gone into these totals within this last year. And now saying that this resurgence is basically in these states that are so unpopulated, if you will, between Alaska, Montana, North Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming, all reporting record numbers of new cases.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So
right,
you cannot have a news article right now about COVID without someone bringing down the negative side. So there was an article about how the pandemic, and it was a research that Columbia did. They came out with a report and said that, what we all know in our hearts, that the lockdown is going to be felt in our society for decades to come.
Yeah.
Because there's record poverty. There's, there was at one point record unemployment, and you're taking kids out of schools. Mm-hmm. And we don't know the impact of the kids out of school for decades. So, and when they do go back to school, there is such a fear that's instilled in them, and not necessarily by the parents, but by society, that school is a dangerous place, that, and this was going on well before the pandemic, whether it was mass shootings or, there's this, that for some reason, there's this push to say that school is a dangerous place for kids to go, when the science says it's the safest place a child could be during the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this comes from, because I really don't understand it. I mean, for years, people were talking about, when I was growing up, it was in public schools bad. They took God out of public school. You couldn't pray. You couldn't do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. Right? All these things. And I think it's now become a completely opposite movement, because they're trying to take the American structure out of our society. And you learn that in school, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You learn the greatness of America in school by learning about, the Washington and Lincoln and all of these, our forefathers who really led us through some very, very dark times. And I really think that's the movement. But here you are, you got this article that's all about how bad the lockdowns were, and and they say this, how unnecessary they were. And then it's almost like somebody came back and it says, wait a second.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Yeah.
You have to say over, I forgot what the number is now, 6 million people or whatever contracted COVID, right? And you just, it's amazing that they have to drill down to, wait, got to make it negative. Mm-hmm. When they talk about masks, and there are still scientists that say that masks don't do any good, that you still need to be socially distanced, and and there's these other things. And by the way, we're going to have a record low flu season because of our social distance.
Right, that's what we've been hearing. That
we deal
numbers are already
with the flu all the time.
Yeah.
We that's just once the change of season comes, but they have to. And again, I'm really curious as to what happens in whatever it is, November, or what happens depending on who wins.
Right.
And there's all these people that believe that we're in, like, there's different strands of this life, more like the Matrix kind of a thing, and in this version of our reality, will Trump win or will Biden win, and et cetera. So I'd be very, very curious to be able to go forward in time and see what would happen if Biden won, and what would Trump win if Trump won.
Yeah. Yeah. And it like you said, and that's what it felt like in the article. That's what it feels like now. It feels like at the beginning of last week, it was there. COVID's been there for the year, but it just felt like all of a sudden we got the itinerary of the president after the town hall, between what his weekend was looking like with Friday and the rally and all this stuff. Then all of a sudden it was like Friday morning, national numbers of COVID. All of a sudden these cases are up and up. And then that's how they led the week. And then I think it was interesting, considering the article, like you said, it does feel like it's got to leave it negative, which it feels like the editor is looking at the article going, let's publish this. And then like, wait, let's put it on the back end, just the reality of what everybody needs to fear. And it was just ironic that, again, my friend, I'm talking about states that are so sparsely populated, they're saying are having the largest numbers they've had since the pandemic began. And that just doesn't feel consistent with the way things have been numbers-wise throughout the year. I don't know. Do you feel the same?
Well, but yeah, no, I'm not surprised by this. I mean, it's always going to take a little longer for a virus to travel to the backwoods of Montana.
Sure.
But you got to remember, at that point, then they're using percentages instead of raw numbers.
There you go. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I read an article. There's 4 counties in the whole country that have not had COVID. 4 counties, and one of the counties had 12 people in it.
Right.
So if that
4
county
people,
gets COVID,
4 or 5 people get
all right,
COVID.
Well, 50%, there'd be a live shot from that county with the family that would be staying there. But and again, so it's people are so crazy. It's like during the football game Friday, and I talked about it on the air. One of the officials was wearing gloves, like latex gloves, a mask, and then every play, he was touching his whistle with his gloves and putting the whistle in his mouth. That is worse than not wearing gloves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could somebody talk to him about what personal protective equipment is for? So at the blood center, we change. We'll have one of our phlebotomists for each person they're dealing with, change their glove 4 times. 4 times per patient, right? And this guy's wearing 1 set of gloves for an entire football game.
I was going to say, the entire football game.
I just find it so comical. And the thing about those latex gloves is things adhere to it. It just does. It's even more than our fingertips. They've proven this. And it's meant to protect you from other people, right? And so you have to rip them off. And then you wash your hands every time you change gloves.
Every time you change gloves, right.
Every time. And this guy's touching his whistle,
And he's touching the whistle, and the whistle goes in his mouth. So regardless of what he's touching, right? That's...
Correct. And he's putting it up underneath his mask, and I'm like, come on.
And this wasn't
Come
something...
on. I mean, what are you doing?
This wasn't some kind of guideline protocol from the FHSAA or anything like that, right?
No. The referees don't even have to wear masks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. There's no requirement for them to do that. And you know why? It's because they're running around and they're outside.
Yeah.
So, I look at that and I just kind of laugh.
Yeah.
And again, I have my mom at 79, and I tell her all the time, look, you have to be she needs to be very concerned about COVID. Be smart of where you go. If you go outside, wear a mask, and wear a good one. I got her a good mask, an N95 that filters the air coming through. 90% of the masks we do don't stop anything.
Mm-mm.
So all of these things are things we should have put in place in March and never shut down.
Yeah.
But I said that from the beginning. Freedom over safety are the guides of safety.
Right.
But poverty kills far more people. Poverty is the most deadly thing we face in this world is poverty. And what we did is we brought poverty back to the United States in a huge, massive way.
Yeah. And like I said, my friend, I wanted to touch base on it from just what we've been hearing in national news. And then, like I said, with, some positivity through and through with the impact of the industry, the airline industry, and how it has that little bit of trickle to the identity of what we know we are as a state with the idea of tourism, for what it means for the hotels, the restaurants, obviously the theme parks. The theme parks, attract them. They fly them in, and then they stay at the hotels and they eat at the restaurants, and it's got its own connection in a way. So when I see the numbers for a weekend total of single passenger screening up over 1 million, that's a turning of the corner right there, especially for the industry of what we know for the airlines, which is already just bamboozled and taking the hits left and right, obviously, until what we see may be coming through with some kind of second stimulus package or whatever. But besides that is just the idea of how when I see that many people, I think, well, that many people are out and about to eat at the restaurants, to stay at the hotels, to get things moving through, which makes sense because of where we were at the beginning, right? Which we've always said was the identity of everything we did was to flatten the curve, and we flattened it. So now even something positive, like I mentioned just in that article, just to finish up with, then all of a sudden having to hear the back end for the negative. So yeah, you're right. It's just it's kind of just peppered in everything, and you should just expect it like that. But take what you can for the information. But anyway, moving on a little bit, my friend. The NFL wrapped up 2 games yesterday. It was pretty cool, kind of watching an NFL football game there with the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills. Around 5 in the evening. I almost wish it would kind of get them to want to bring Monday Night Football just a little bit earlier. Like, could we start at around 7 o'clock instead of 8:30? Because it wasn't bad having a football game on there when it was the earlier hours of the evening. And it was a good football game there for a while, but the Kansas City Chiefs ended up taking over the Buffalo Bills 26-17. I was going to ask you if you caught any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of it. By the time I started tuning in, it was kind of over.
Yeah, it was starting to.
The Bills got exposed.
Yeah.
Chiefs rallied from their last 2 weeks. So, yeah.
Does a team like Buffalo, with a loss like this, Buffalo's shown that they're a pretty decent football team here, and with a loss like this at this point in the season, which is fairly early, is that something that's good for a young team like that, considering that the division they're in, that they're still, highly competitive now and winning that division? Does a game like this against Kansas City, the reigning Super Bowl champions, even though you lost, and like we said, about the fourth quarter, it was almost definitive that they weren't going to come back to it, although for most of the game it was still a good football game. If you're the Buffalo Bills, what do you take away from a loss like this?
I'm not a big believer that you learn more from a loss than a win. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. You can lose from, or you can learn from anything.
Right.
What I do believe, though, is that it was a measuring stick for where the Bills want to go.
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting in a way.
World champions.
Yeah.
And I think they were a little short, and I think they got exposed.
Yeah.
But they haven't played in very, very many big games like that, and I think that was important for them.
Yeah.
They didn't perform poorly.
No.
They just didn't execute, and Josh Allen didn't play well at all.
He didn't, and I think that's because, like you said, a little bit of the exposing, and he had to be. They had to be, I'd say, darn near perfect for what was necessary. They stayed, like they said, in competitive with the game, but to actually come away with a win, they had to be kind of flawless. But I was going to ask you too, what you thought of him as quarterback.
I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he's got an incredibly strong arm.
Yeah.
He's starting to really make some plays. He's got good footwork, good mechanics. He's got a great group of receivers around him. I think he'll be fine. I think, he'll be their quarterback for the next 10 years at least. So it's just a matter of whether or not he can make that big play, that big throw when he needs to. And he just didn't last night.
Yeah. And like you said, it's that measuring stick, and maybe they can adjust from that point on. And like you said, they kind of need more of those bigger games, especially with the way they're playing. And hopefully that brings, when they play New England now in their division, those are going to be those big games, and then some of the other ones towards the end of the season.
New England's not very good. New England's not a very good team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you ride and die by Cam Newton, and Cam Newton is one of those streaky guys.
Yeah.
And when things go wrong for Cam Newton, he does not recover well. He is not the kind of guy who's going to bring you from behind. He never has been.
Right.
Because he gets down on himself, and it was kind of like Zeke Elliott last night with the 2 fumbles and back-to-back possessions.
Yeah.
And you could tell, mentally, to play in any sport at the highest level, you have to be very mentally tough.
Yes.
And Cam Newton has never been mentally tough.
Right.
Like, he's in the Super Bowl and basically gave up. He gave up that fumble and didn't even try to dive on it. He's tried to explain that away his whole career.
Yeah.
But that to me is his defining moment. And, when you're not mentally tough and you're the leader of the team, it impacts the entire team.
Yeah.
So once Zeke put that second, everybody's going to fumble once.
Right.
You cannot fumble the second time. And the way that ball popped out, you could tell he just wasn't focused.
Right.
And you can't overcome that if that's your superstar.
Yeah.
You just can't.
That's true. And at those moments, those were, the score 38-10 as the Arizona Cardinals beat Dallas, but it was those moments where it was still a football game for Dallas to hang in there, so to speak. And like you said, that's tough go of it. But
got
man,
the Cardinals going.
Yeah, it did. It sure did.
Kyler Murray couldn't throw the ball 5 yards and complete a pass, and then Zeke Elliott fumbles. They get great field position. Boom, touchdown. Boom, 80-yard bomb. And it was 21-0. Boom, game over.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem. Because if you're on the other side, one, you don't have Dak Prescott, so you have to rely on Zeke Elliott. And Zeke Elliott just faded.
Yeah.
He faded. He wilted like a flower underneath the spot. And that's why I would have never paid him that money. But again, there are certain players who rise to that challenge. Whether it's Tom Brady or Joe Montana or, a John Elway. Somebody that you like, you know what? It's time to circle the wagons. We've got to rely on this guy. And this guy is going to get us out of this mess.
Yeah.
That's called leadership.
Yep.
And again, when your best player doesn't have that leadership, you're not going to win. Look at Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's the same guy.
Yep.
Once things start going wrong for him, he doesn't have the mental fortitude to turn it around and say, I'm going to carry you, and I'm going to bring you all with me. Because that's special, and I think that's what makes Tom Brady so great.
Yeah.
It's his ability to do that.
That's what made all those great. No, that's one thing about Peyton Manning. That's one thing about even mentioning of Drew Brees. That's what those guys carry is a level of, like you said, mental toughness that.
You just wanted to throw Drew Brees in that mix, and Drew Brees doesn't belong in the same. He just doesn't as a quarterback. He doesn't belong in the same conversation as John Elway and Joe Montana.
What?
Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. He's a compiler. He's a compiler.
Oh, statistics.
All he's done in his entire career is he just compiles statistics. He just does.
He's not doing it very well this year, though.
Well, no, but again, and what does he fall back on? And again, I think this offseason destroyed him.
Yeah.
He says something that he believes in.
Yeah.
And then somebody questions it. And now he's got his whole belief system. And he doesn't respond well.
You nailed it.
That's terrible.
You nailed it too, my friend. That's the best way to put it too. I was having a conversation with somebody on why they have looked flat, and it almost looks like, in a way, Drew Brees is a little panicked in the pocket and everything else. And the way you just described
it. Michael Thomas. It's
right.
Not because of what he said about racism in America. It's because he doesn't have Michael Thomas.
Yes, but when you talk...
That's just it. Drew Brees can't play at that level without elite talent around him.
Yeah.
He's a compiler.
Well, speaking of, though, I wanted to mention, this was the first time that I actually kind of got to watch Kyler Murray. And I was going to say, what do you think of him overall? He did some things that were kind of special last night here and there, but then also, like you said, for a while there, couldn't hit a 5-yard dump.
We'll see how he responds when he gets hurt.
Yeah.
When he starts to play with an ankle sprain, when he starts to, when his shoulder's bothering him a little bit, his left shoulder, not his right shoulder.
Yeah.
When he's got a bit of anything to do with his leg injury. Because right now his whole game is based on his sheer athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
But athleticism fades. It just does. You're on a clock. And I have the same questions for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Right now, ride the wave.
Yeah.
But I also believe that, Mahomes has proven that he's just a good quarterback, can read defenses, can move guys with his arms.
Yep.
And is smart enough to overcome some of those things. So I don't think he'll be as reliant on his athleticism for his entire career. But Kyler Murray will not be a guy who's in the league for a very long time because he's 5'9",
right?
And his legs are the reason he's great. Baker Mayfield, same thing.
Yeah.
And again, there are also guys who have been so dominant their entire careers. They've never had to learn and study the nuances of the game. And that's, I think, what makes people elite. You look at a Joe Montana or John Elway was always the best athlete on the field.
Yep.
But as he got older, he really learned the offense and had the, when he got with Shanahan, they won the Super Bowl because of the running game.
Absolutely. Man, good stuff. My friend, as we're making our way here to bottom real quick, just to mention, tonight is Game 1 of the World Series. Tampa Bay Rays, Los Angeles Dodgers. And what you think? Predictions, Game 1.
First 3 innings are going to defend the game. Both teams, I think, are going to be a little tight. They always are in the World Series. I don't care if there's fans or not.
Yeah.
Biggest moment for most of the kids, especially on the Rays. Dodgers have been there. That's going to help them. But this is where stars act like stars, and players who are great become stars.
Yeah.
So first 3 innings, I think, will dictate how this series goes.
Mm-hmm.
Who can come out relaxed? Who can come out composed? Put the ball in play, make defenders make mistakes. Always the key, and so we'll see how they do. I just think the Dodgers are just too good.
Yeah.
I just think they're too good.
Yeah.
But that Rays pitching staff is so scrappy. And they're a smart baseball team. They do not hurt themselves. They don't make boneheaded running plays. So that's the other thing. And the Dodgers and Kershaw's big night for Kershaw. Big night. This is going to be career-defining night for Kershaw.
Absolutely it is. Real quick, my friend, before we go, for listeners out there, where will the Bloodmobile be at today?
Hey, today we're going to be at the Walmart out there in the shores of Bahia, on Bahia Avenue. Please come out and donate blood. We are in emergency need of everything. And as always, we're right there on the boulevard at 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Check us out at lifesouth.org.
Appreciate it, brother. Get safe where you're going. We'll chat at you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, man.
Got it, buddy. WOCA, the source, back after this.
Dr. Fauci's a nice man.
We let him do what he wants to do. He gets a lot of television. He loves being on television. We let him do it. Sometimes he says things that are a little bit off and they get built up, unfortunately. But he's a nice guy. I like him. But he's called a lot of bad calls.
America's listening to Fox News.
Wouldn't it be great if everything came with more? Like if your new computer came with unlimited tech support. When you choose a Medicare plan from United Healthcare, you get more. Like plans that have dental and vision coverage, plus hearing coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-364-1360 to get Medicare with more. Remember, Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th.
Benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. More plans based on a year-over-year comparison of United Healthcare plans.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contact us to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
Watching.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you. listen up. We have a treat for all you crime thriller readers. Wednesday at 10:05 a.m., Corey Sapita with Razor Sharp Publishing will give us a preview of La Familia, Loose Ends. Readers will be taken on a page-turning ride they'll not soon to forget, with political intrigue, murder, and family drama. This is the first book of a 5-part series. The authors donating portions of the proceeds to charities including the fight against sex trafficking. Again, that's Wednesday the 21st at 10:05 a.m. Entertainment from Razor Sharp Publishing and your friends at WOCA, The Source.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Partly sunny with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 83 to 86. Then partly cloudy tonight with a heavy shower and a low 73 to 75. We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine Wednesday with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots in the afternoon. High tomorrow 80 to 84. Then mostly cloudy Thursday with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon and a high of 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.